It's my distinct pleasure to introduce you to our elite apartment offering, an expansive 800 square meters of fully customizable space where luxury meets limitless creativity. Our model highlights stunning panoramic views that seamlessly integrate nature and sophistication. Envision a retreat defined by warm wooden tones, elegant ambient lighting, and verdant greenery. Blending sleek modern elements with cozy, inviting spaces. From serene lounges and gourmet kitchens to tranquil bathrooms and even an indoor pool oasis. But this is simply a showcase. Your blank canvas awaits. Draw from a vast array of premium materials like rich exotic woods, gleaming marbles, sumptuous textiles, and polished metals. Curate with endless assets, including bespoke furniture, artistic decor, and functional features tailored to your desires. With complete freedom, players can design utterly breathtaking apartments that embody their personal vision. The elite apartment, not just a home, but your masterpiece.
Hey everybody, welcome to Kopi Cafe. This is episode 137. You've got Rob Gregg here and Josh Jones. We're here to tell you a little bit more about what's happening in the world of cornucopias this week, what all we have going on, some updates. So fun episode ahead. We've got a special guest to talk a little bit about the apartments. We've got phase 3 update and phase 3 of the sale update and the avatar contest that we're going to be talking about a little bit. Before we get going there, though, Rob, what are you drinking today?
Today, me and Grogu on the Mandalorian, we are having a cup of tea.
You've got a Grogu mug. That's a cool show. I like that show. I haven't seen all of it, though. All right.
A Yorkshire cup of tea.
I've got a new beverage. Totally new for you guys. Never seen it before. It's got a dog on it. Scuba mask. Lagunitas Hoppy.
Well, that's an interesting font.
Zero alcohol, but it's a hop flavored beverage. It's pretty darn tasty. I actually like it quite a bit.
Nice.
Okay.
I wonder what our guest will be drinking.
I know what he'll be drinking.
Me too.
I'm pretty certain I know what he'll be drinking. All right. So
they have a few minutes to change their mind.
if they want to. All right. Let's go ahead and kick it off. Phase 3 of the sale, the long-awaited phase 3. Goodness gracious, this has been a while. It's been a track to get here, but I'm very excited to be able to announce that we are going. We should be live with the new marketplace sale by the time of the episode going live. So if you haven't noticed yet, you should be able to go to the new marketplace, build a shopping cart, buy multiple NFTs in one transaction.
What's the marketplace link?
It's cornucopias.io/marketplace.
Very nice.
Thank you. Thank you for that. And yeah, sure. Be sure to go check it out and get your shoes. We've also got definitely make sure you get your free NFT, the Superverse weapon. And then we've also got a Superverse weapon that's a little bit more rare that you can buy if you'd like. So that's what's currently available. And then I think there might be a backpack as well that's up there. So phase 3 is up. Go check it out. This is helping us to prepare for what's coming, which is the apartment sale. And, the new marketplace technology is pretty critical. We've needed it for a while just because we've transitioned to more of a in-game assets kind of mentality, ready to use type of things. Not to say that we won't be selling things that aren't immediately ready. We'll have some of those as well soon. But yeah, that's kind of the shift into having a live service game.
Mm-hmm.
So we needed new tech to support that. So we're excited about it. Go check it out. Give us your feedback. As always, we'd love to hear it. And then next up, the avatar contest that should be launching next week. And it's I say should be. There really aren't any dependencies I'm aware of. But yeah, the plan is to launch it mid next week. for the avatar contest to get that going. And the way that you'll participate in the avatar contest, for those of you that may not know who we are, you haven't created an account with us yet or whatever, well, you're going to want to go to cornucopias.io, create your account, make sure to grab the free Superverse NFT, and then that'll give you free game download access. So it's a little hack for right now. It's not always going to be up, but for as of right now with the Superverse free NFT, that can get you into the game. You should be able to download the game for free, provided you have the minimum specs, and those will be on the launcher and everything there. So very easy to do. Go to the website, go to the marketplace page, grab your free NFT, then go and click the play button and download the game. And that'll prep you to be able to be a part of the Avatar contest, which we have $10,000 worth of Kopi we're giving away to the various communities. Some of that is to the Cornucopias community. Some of that is to the other communities that are participating with us. And then some of that is for the grand final prize. So multiple communities participating. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And we're looking forward to getting going with that. Superverse is obviously participating. I don't think we got a final from Neo Tokyo yet. We're sure hoping that they're going to get on board. The Medicaid community has given us a yes. There's some fun communities that are going to participate. That'll bring more awareness of Cornucopias. And I don't know if you have anything else there you want to
come
add.
and join us and have some fun.
Yeah.
As a side note, these are my minimum specs, and these are my maximum specs. They're slightly different.
the number of times you've done a glasses switch on Kopi Cafe
In a while.
there could be an edit done, like a little glasses edit montage. I imagine somebody will probably do that just from the mention of it. Who knows? Okay, could be done with AI pretty easily. Let's go ahead and get our special guest up. That's it. Let's invite him up. Let's see what he's drinking. David, welcome to Kopi Cafe. It's good to have you here.
It's me.
Yeah,
I'm here again.
Out of curiosity, what are you drinking today?
See, I heard you guys talking, and I went and ran around looking for anything else I could possibly be drinking. I almost considered the Worcestershire that was in the fridge, but I feel like people might.
That'd be a Scruffy.
You should have done the Worcestershire because that would have won up Scruffy, or it would have been on par with what Scruffy brings whenever he's on the episode.
Hey, I think I did. I brought a peanut before, so
you brought a peanut.
Nice.
I did. The Jack Sparrow. It was like Halloween one year, and it was
I
Jack
remember when you
outfit, and I had a peanut.
I was actually just thinking that. I was thinking, where's that witch that you usually have in the background? But that'll come in a few more weeks.
Yeah, we only got a few months until I have Wednesday back here again.
Mm-hmm.
So hanging out behind me, and of course it is the Stanley. And
after all that,
dang it! I really wish you would have showed up with some Worcestershire.
I know I should have had some other drinks. I've been trying to cut out sugar out of my diet, like recently, like majorly cut down on sugar a lot. So we're completely devoid of anything.
I had a drink of sugar once.
You had what?
Rob, your drink last week had like 78 grams of sugar or something.
No, I meant in Manchester. Do you remember that little glass
of
sugar?
Oh, that was a great episode. That was a good one. Okay. Well, David, good to have you here. Let's give him a fun tour. So what do you want to show us today?
I think we did have some community questions. We could probably go through those, talk about those first, and then we showed 2 apartments before, so I think I can just kind of do a live showing of maybe 2 more apartments.
We've done 3 now
that are being worked on. Yeah.
Well, I guess Rob can ask you those questions since I've been talking too much on Phase 3 and Avatar. Let him
sure. Well, Horsey called, so Horsey gets. He says the prime apartment looked great, but can you explain what David meant by physicalized property? Will these apartments be instanced? If the apartments won't be instanced, will that affect performance?
Yeah. That's a good one, and that's where we're doing something that's a lot different than other MMOs or other simulators or games that are similar to ours. Is when you have an apartment, whether it's the free one that you get initially, or it's one you purchase, or one that you work your way up in game and purchase with in-game currency, those are all in their own space. So when you have an apartment, you're in your own physical space. that's only yours and not anybody else's space. And it's just you can look at it just like the land plots as well. They're the same way. So it's physicalized space, and that might bring up, I would imagine Horsey or somebody might have the next question. Well, how are you going to hold everyone? You know, I mean, how much space is this going to take up? Well, each zone, the hub city that we have in those. So today we'll be running around Solus's. It's got space for about 50,000. That's there. 50,000 apartments. It's much easier to do apartments than it is to have more spread out land plots, but it's expandable in the future to about 100,000. And it's all the loading and all of that stuff is something that we're working on. But when you go to Esperanza, you have another 50 to 100,000 and times, 10, 12, other zones that you have going on. Eventually you have space for a couple million players. So yeah, we definitely think it can work. I think it's high time for games to truly take you into another reality and you to really feel a sense of digital ownership. So
why is everyone living on their own? Why can't people have multiple occupancy?
What? Wait, what? Is that a joke? I can't tell.
Yeah. No, there's two parts of that question. The second one is, will users be able to fast travel to their apartments eventually?
Fast travel is a funny term. Because if you do it too much, people get used to it and then they want it all the time. Then they're like, well, why do I have to take time traveling between here? Everything in the game is very physicalized. So there might be some instances where you can travel, but many of you guys have flown into Solus and probably seen the construction of the hub city above. The little train station that you have there with all the G trains that go out. There's an elevator in there that takes you right up to the hub city. And then from there, you can go to your apartment section. This also opens up for mounts as well. These will be locations where you can actually use a mount. So you have a little speeder, you can drive down the streets and head to your apartment. I assure you, it's a little more rewarding when you have to go around and do things like it's a physical world than just instantly snapping around to everywhere.
Very nice.
So that's my answer on that one.
Good one.
Good answer.
This one's from Rob the Fox. How's Esperanza getting on?
Esperanza is going along pretty well. We're coming up to final phase where we kind of look at everything and say, well, this isn't right. This needs to be fixed. Performance issue here. And this is before we lay down the plots. So I'm trying to make sure the landscape is absolutely solidified. The hub, the production of the Esperanza hub just started back up recently as well. It's actually, I think it's more beautiful than the Solus hub, but it's very cool vibes that are actually in there. And I think we had an art book and there was probably some early work in progress look at the Esperanza hub, but very, very beautiful place.
That's coming soon.
This hasn't been asked yet and we haven't discussed it, so I can see why we might possibly have to cut this question, but do you only get one free apartment?
One free apartment.
Why somebody might want one in Esperanza and Fortune, etc. Yeah. So then
just one.
Then that basically means you can shut your apartment down potentially and move to a new one if you wanted, or no?
Yeah, I mean, you'll have I don't want to release that info yet. Maybe we can. Once you're done with your free apartment and you own another one or want to move into something else, you're going to lose the free apartment. That's got to go to somebody else that's coming into the game. I think it's totally fair. And then you're going to build in that. But you could buy multiple apartments eventually. There might be a limit, though. We haven't determined that actual limit yet.
All right. Perfect.
Very nice.
Well, you want to get into the fun stuff?
I've got 3,000 more questions. There is one more quick
3,000 more questions. This is going to be a long episode.
You can go ahead and just toss me another one. Go ahead.
I'll ask you one quick one from Recon Monk. He wants to know, can we get interviews with team members, please? Something simple. So here's one for you, David. Who are you? What do you do at Cornucopias? And what are you working on at the moment?
Okay. I think everyone knows that one, but we are going to try to get more team members on here. I think next week we're going to have Jillian dig into the mechanics of the robots and things that are coming out of the Rift. There's a bunch of really interesting thing about those where they kind of function like a mini game in itself. You got all these armor plates to knock off, and a lot of that production has been going on for about 6 months now on the things that are going to be coming out of the Rift to make sure it's a very fun experience.
I actually saw that the other day. I keep meaning to, because I kind of did a sneaky recording of it. So I need
you
to
told me all
send that
about
to
it,
John.
and I'm excited. I haven't
Yeah.
seen the sneaky recording yet, though. But
Yeah,
Sneaky
armored
report.
plating, and she said she was working on multiple versions of the characters with like a heavy version and a light version of those.
So the Rift creatures,
Mm.
so everyone sort of saw the humanoid type robot.
Yeah.
Use that example, or we've seen the Mert. That's in the release. You can walk around the Mert. You will find a light, medium, and heavy version of all of those. Obviously, heavy ones are going to have more armor. Light ones are going to have less armor, and you might have some weapon head swap outs on those. So a heavy is going to do more damage, but also probably move a little bit slower.
Have
well.
we shared all three of them, or have we only shared two?
I don't think they've seen what I call the jab. So you have these
Pfizer.
very smaller guys in the Mert, and they have this huge needle, like poison needle on the front, and we're just we're calling it the jab because that's funny, right? But yeah, I don't think they've seen that one yet.
The what you calling the robot guy, the tall guy?
He doesn't have a name yet. We
Okay.
have not named the robot guy.
In terms of height wise, he's a lot taller than the players, isn't he?
Oh, yes. For those of you that really buff up your character and make yourself really huge and you feel big, you feel like a big man in Cornucopias, wait until you see this guy. He's going to tower over you.
Yeah. Everyone's seen the picture, but they've got no context to actually have
context on size.
It's quite tall, very menacing looking creature with 8 barrels of saying hello. So
not quite BFG. I don't know if if you know the BFG in America, the big friendly giant.
Oh,
or James and the Peach,
like the
green James and the Peach.
Not quite that size. He's pretty big.
So, it's exciting, and I'm looking forward to digging into that with Jillian a little further. And I'm glad to know that it's been going for, like it's good that we have teams going in parallel.
Yeah.
I'm curious though from you on the Rift opening side. Has that started? How the Rift is going to be opening?
Yeah, that's as well as the spawning of those. So for those of you out there that kind of look at our releases and say, well, this is all they've done right now, there's always more things that we're doing. It's just some things take a lot longer, and some things could actually break your current gameplay if we were to put them in the actual release. So there's lots of stuff going on in parallel. I mean, crafting has been going on for quite a while too.
I was just about to ask you that one.
Yeah.
So can you give us a crafting update? Like where we're at?
I mean, it's, you got the interface. The only thing, and it is working. The only thing that we're holding off on right now is because we have to redo some things on the database and inventory system side to make it work much more efficiently for the crafting system. And that's why you haven't seen it in a release yet, but you're probably going to see some aspect of that hopefully in the next, not the next release, but the one afterwards. We're doing, I guess this is one thing. Have we talked about doing a small release soon?
We snuck it in we shoot it in last week.
We shoot it in. We did. We didn't give a date, I don't think.
Yeah, you guys are going to see a small release soon that has some small updates, has some new jetpacks that you can actually buy in game. Few other just very small things. You're going to start getting a little bit more often updates. So I would say look for that within the next week or so.
Jetpacks for a small thing, especially one that can.
Oh, the new jetpacks. Yeah, I actually have it. When I share my screen, I'll talk about it just briefly, but we've got to start getting our IGC versions of things kind of up there in quantity, because as we're heading towards mainstream adoption, there's a lot of people that aren't initially going to want to give us money to play the game or have a certain feature. So
yeah, and we're not far off from the Steam, just getting on the Steam coming soon page. We're not too far off from making that move. Trailer is in production.
Yeah,
good stuff coming there.
Not
But
just
yeah,
soon. Not
huh?
just soon. Coming soon.
I wish I could give dates, but I'll just get in trouble. So
Yep.
I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen.
do
And
it. Let's go. See a new jetpack there.
yeah, I was wanting to see if you guys can see my screen.
And this is an IGC jetpack. In-game.
Yes,
in-game
this is an
free.
IGC jetpack. This one does have a little bit of wings. Maybe don't get too excited. You're not like going to be diving and flying around like an airplane, but this is the Core Dynamics Glide Sport. It's still in production right now, missing a few things, but this one feels a lot different than all the other jetpacks, and the reason for that is it can't climb very well at all unless you're sort of leaning forward. I would say, and even in the description on this one's ideal for low altitude like scouting. You can even like cruise through a forest and all of that, and you don't have to worry about climbing up too much.
So it's like a wingsuit.
Wingsuits, I would say it's a little bit different. I would just say this is kind of like a low weak powered sort of glider, but
Okay.
QA team was using it and they actually found it to be like a lot of fun. They're like, everyone's going to want to have this one along with the other ones that they have.
And then do you have to unbuff it and and make it a lot worse?
Well, now hopefully not. We went through enough testing hopefully it's not going to make anybody too mad, but you could cruise along at ground level. You know, if you were looking for loot or enemies or something in the future, it's a good jetpack for that. But as soon as you're trying to climb mountains or get on the top of buildings, very, very slow process. It's a little bit, yeah, it's just a different use case.
Okay.
Before we showed two of the, I'm just going to run down.
Nice.
You can see that low flying there. We went through the basic and the plus. Just as a reminder, we might step into these just briefly. I was kind of worried about the wings on this thing. Does it fit through the door? Yeah, certain things that you have to actually think about. There's no collision on them, so it's not that big of a deal. Covered this one before is the free and small apartment. You don't get any of the furniture in here, by the way. You just get a shell, and you can actually purchase things to actually put in your apartment, you know, such as that fridge that's over there. But if you don't like the color of the fridge, you can actually pay to refinish it. So you can do a totally different look than what you see here. This is just something we kind of called a nice green aesthetic. I think it's maybe a little bit more feminine in a way, but just showing what you could do with what are kind of the free apartments that are kind of a small studio kind of feel. And of course, I always have to shout out to the, two trees and a hammock that we have over there. Those in the community that remember what that means. So we had the masculine.
We showed the first two levels of apartments already, just as a.
Oh yeah. I was just doing a brief recap.
Oh, okay, brief recaps. Go for it.
This one's a little bit bigger. This is every size that you go up is actually double of the size before. So in this one itself, you have a little bit more of, I would say, a masculine aesthetic going on with this one. Also, two trees and a hammock happen to be over there as well.
Nice.
Let's run out of here, and we'll go on to what some people are calling. You can actually see the climb rates, but this thing is pretty slow unless you're looking for it. But let's head right over here.
So the physics totally different setup on the.
Yeah, it feels there's a lot different of a feel. We'll see what community members think about it.
Blends in well with that bodysuit.
Yeah.
Actually, I think the white one with this would go really well. But you also might have multiple colors of these in the actual release. Some that are mythic, some that are common. So there's also another one as well, Core Dynamics Alien X, which has a really maybe we can put an image up on the screen right now of that really wild looking pack that will cost you a bit more. That's kind of in between the functionality of this one and the functionality of some of the jetpacks that everybody knows and loves right now. So without further ado, Prime E is just one of the different types of layouts. and if we have time, I can go talk about that a little bit more after this. But this one per floor is 1,000 by 1,000 times 4 floors. You got about 400 square meters total on this one. And you can kind of see, I'm just going to actually take my jetpack off. You can see we don't have the thumbnail updated yet. This is kind of a New York apartment type aesthetic that we have going on here. And this is all using the same building kit that comes with the game and the same ones from what you saw on the other apartments that we just went into. It's just the materials and the finishes are actually swapped out. You actually see a few different furniture assets as well. This reminds me of a New York blockhouse because it is kind of skinny and very tall. So that's the artist that was making this one as a model example kind of had that in mind.
Well, it's interesting you bring up the materials and finishes. So that gives you a great amount of flexibility. Same assets, but changing the materials and finishes gives that unique of a look.
Yeah, you could literally have millions of different combinations. If you look at the windows here, these kind of have the New York window look that you have going on. So an apartment will be inside of a large building shell, like a skyscraper, or it could be a condo complex. There is a window on the outside of that, but you are able on the inside of your apartment able to put up walls that have windows, so you can get your own aesthetic of windows that you prefer inside of your apartment. It's a nice, this tub actually looks really nice over here. It's like a fancy place. So we're going to be bathing in cornucopias? Do you think so? Head up here. Nice little, you'll find a lot of things like little abstract art pieces, things like that. Here's a bedroom where you can get some shut-eye and log out and log back into the game eventually. This one's still under works. It needs a little bit more wall art and things like that, but I think we're going to go into the elite in a second.
I'm really curious to see the community creations, some of our community that are interior designer built, and it's going to be fun to see what they create.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the absolute most exciting thing is just, I think every day we're going to see people doing different creations and things, we didn't even think of. They might outdo us. You know what I'm saying? So actually, I hope they do.
Will these show houses remain so people can be inspired?
These are actually in the hub city. So at any time, not in the next smaller release, but in the next release, anybody in the community can walk over here to this corner of the hub city and go in the real estate office and check out the model.
Oh, so yeah, okay, so that's what these are.
Gives you an idea of size and what you might want to purchase.
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
That's perfect.
There actually might be some, I'm not going to say this is going to be in there, but there's some consideration or some way that we might be able to get this in the next smaller release to where you can just at least maybe teleport and take a look at apartments. But
if anybody wants that, like, comment, and subscribe below.
That's going to be 100%.
If we get 1,000 likes, we'll make it happen.
Like bribery. Where to now?
Gonna head over around this. This, by the way, is the pinnacle. So this is one of the biggest apartments you can get, and as you can see, just from the outside, it is very, very massive. But we'll get to that one at a different time. Let's go over this very nice, traditional looking bridge here. It's a very pretty area with all the flowers and things. And we'll head over to the Elite C. So it's a C layout of the Elite size apartments. It's double the size of what we looked in before. Again, I'm going to take my jetpack off. And in here, I really would like to live here. Really just, I don't know. The aesthetic here is just absolutely gorgeous. Everything is warm. It's got this organic feel. This one's got a little bit more of those decor items in here. A lot of use of organic stuff. You got some, what looks like
is this foreshadowing any future?
Makes me want to read.
It does. And this is just a and this is the one thing I want to talk about too. You can see that the pool area is higher, and you can see that the entrance is a little bit lower. Then you have this little nook that's over here that comes down kind of half steps. We're not restricting players to what they want to do. You don't have to say that something is 4 floors and my floors have to be at these specific levels. We're going to let you do what you want with your floors. You're going to have markers that give you an idea of where a floor should be. Right now, the average floor is about 3.25 meters. And that's a little taller than real life to account for the third person camera. But you can totally do lower floors and set many different levels. And that's what makes a space like this really, really beautiful. Is having those changes in elevation and things not being totally flat. Come over here and you can see a little bit of a bar area that's over here. Are we going to be drinking cornucopias? I don't know. I'm just going to keep asking these questions about things that we see around because I know the community is going to have those questions. Can go over here. This is a nice little bedroom area. It's over here. Quite chill vibes. You got a fireplace at the end, and you've also got this nice little kitchen area. I don't want to talk, over this whole thing if you guys have questions, or maybe you're just in awe. I don't know.
We explored this a few weeks ago.
No. Yeah, I don't think the community hasn't seen it.
No, definitely not.
Yeah. Here is your kitchen area. And again, you're kind of stepping down in the space. So the space feels isolated from anything else. It's got a really cozy vibe going on.
I like the lighting in there.
So that's one thing to mention.
The infinity lighting.
So when you guys in the community, when you place lights, you're actually placing functional dynamic lights that are in there. What that does mean is that if you go into your apartment and fill it up with 1,000 lights and nothing else, yes, you're going to have terrible performance in your apartment, but we're going to trust that you're going to build beautiful things and use lights.
Well, that's actually a good question. So yeah. We probably don't have the answer to this yet, but will there be a maximum of objects that you can place within an apartment?
Apartments would have a very high limit of what you can place in there. But sure, anybody could hit a limit. Let's say you're gonna put some decorative little plant or wine bottle down, but you want to place thousands and thousands of them until you have this. It's the equivalent of Skyrim with somebody packing a room full of cheese wheels, right? Yep. It's if you do that, you're going to hit a limit pretty fast. If you build like you're supposed to, you're probably not going to hit a limit. So,
quick question on the lamp there. That's a pretty cool lamp. Is that an example of one asset that you could change the appearance of?
Correct. So you can change the pattern on the lamp itself, and you could change the ceramic color that you have there. And that means that you could switch it to something else totally. It could be metal. It could, we're going to, just like I said about the avatar creator, I really believe in player freedom to do what they want to do. And we're going to give you a huge ability to make things look as ugly as you want them to be or as beautiful as you want them.
How many assets has the team built so far?
This modern kit specifically, which is what all these are built out of, the one that comes with the game, you still have to buy the pieces by IGC as you're building. There's about 485 of these pieces for this kit right now.
485 individual pieces that can be further customized by changing the color of the material.
And this is just the start.
Yeah.
And just remember, everything that you're seeing is built from the same kit. And as we're going from apartment to apartment, they have totally different feels. And that's what the materials and the finish changes allow somebody to do.
Yeah, very exciting. I love it.
I like this little...
Yeah, some are very masculine, and this one.
This one's just awesome. I love this. So... there's plenty of beams and other things you can build with. Got a little closet that's over here.
They must have a wasp problem in the future.
We haven't fully landed on this yet, but we have discussed doing some of the kits by room, which I think is really cool, because if you wanted to just have one room that's of a cyberpunk theme, you could you could go in that direction, or you could do your entire place cyberpunk if you bought the whole kit, the bundle, something like that. Yeah.
So there will be premium kits that are sold on the store that come in different themes that are kind of much further out from your typical building stuff. Like we have one that's under works right now, which is the cyberpunk kit. I don't know if it's going to be called that, but that'll give you a couple, maybe 100 up to 200 max assets separated out into rooms, hopefully purchasable separately. If not, you buy the whole bundle. You don't get the assets with that, but it gives you the ability, the access in game to actually purchase those assets and decorate your apartment with them.
So how does that work? Well, so what you're saying is you would buy the kit, and then you would have to go and get the credits in game.
Right. So you're going to play the game. Yeah, it's very similar to others. You earn in-game currency or credits, and you're like, hey, I would really want a new TV because I can't see my sports games large enough, and you go purchase.
You're unlocking access to a different shop.
Yeah, you're just gonna keep building, and all the way up to what satisfies you creatively. But there's also utility assets over time. Things that you place in there. Refrigerators might be great at keeping food from being spoiled. You might want a bigger refrigerator. You can put crafting stations in here as well, smaller crafting stations to allow you to actually craft goods. There's going to be a lot of utility items in the future where it's not just decor and construction.
And to be fair, using an NFT in a game is utility.
Yeah.
But I know what you meant. More utility.
Sure. So that's the elite that's going on here. Very cool, very beautiful place. And you could build your own elite just like this if you really like this design.
Does this come with an open roof?
So that's a good question. So all of these, especially on the higher tier, sizes like the elite or the pinnacle, you're going to see a lot of those with a lot of glass. They're in shells. You can't actually build up on that level there. It's just part of the shell that you're, to kind of make the space you're in feel a little bit more like a home. Penthouses, those would be pinnacles that are in very high levels of skyscrapers or off on their own. Elites will have some of that too. So you might see some of this extra architecture to like light in that's outside your actual building zone that you're allowed to build in. In this case here, it's used to kind of really draw your eye into the space.
It's very nice. And this is called the Elite. Elite A, was it?
This is the elite size and the specific layouts. Do we have a little time? I can talk about the layouts just a little bit.
Sure, go for it.
Yeah, let's let me pop my jetpack back on here. Cruise right over to the real estate office.
The cyberpunk building.
That was a smooth landing. In here, you can actually kind of see the layouts themselves. So they all, if you look at the prime size, they're all different layouts, like square, rectangular, more floors, less floors, but they all end up being the same amount of square meters. Same thing for the plus. Excuse me. And there is also, if you look at the elites and pinnacles over here, they're quite massive. Same thing there. So, some people might ask, well, what is the real estate office for? You're going to go in here. There's a terminal in here that's not in here yet, and you're going to be able to choose what actual apartments are available to actually live in.
I've got my eyes on those primes. I'm going to figure out which is going to be the Optimus Prime.
Okay. I think you're getting quiet, Rush. It's hard to hear you, but that's kind of the end of my show off and spill. This looks kind of like a boring place to work, like the DMV or something, doesn't it? But
no, that does not. That's a big upgrade from DMV, man.
I'm just thinking of like the big long desk, and there's just like
yeah. That particular part, but the rest, goodness gracious, DMV is like all fluorescent lighting. Yeah. Rob's like, what is DMV?
That is, if somebody wants to
all
put
the
really
differences
awful
in US,
lighting,
UK.
they can do that too. So
DMV is the Department of Motor Vehicles. That's what we have in the States for where we have to go get our driver's licenses and
It's one of the
things
worst
of that
places on earth.
nature. And it's, government agency. So typically not the most pleasant environments
Oh,
to
we just
hang
end
out
up
and
in the
wait in
post
line
road.
and all that
Yep.
good stuff.
It's terrible.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome, man. That's a great tour. That gets me
Yeah.
fired up.
I'm excited about all of
yeah,
this stuff. The
yeah,
community starts building. It's going to be a lot of fun.
When apartment builder, man. When?
Well, the truth is the apartment builder also is the same builder that we use for plots. So we're going to try to knock out both of those at the same time. So access to your plot, building things on your plot for the first time, and access to an apartment, building things on that for the first time. So.
Yep. And we're aiming for that to come out after the land grab is completed. How close to after the land grab is completed is not determined yet, but we're working hard. Those are our next
Yes.
ambitious goals.
And that interface, the builder kit, will also be used for the custom domes as well.
That is correct. So it's 3 birds, 1 stone, and the builder very much works like like something you would use in UEFN, like Unreal Fortnite, or it works very similar to Unreal Engine. So I think it's time that gamers start acting like environment artists and having some of that full functionality, so they can actually build things quite quickly.
All right. Well, very exciting stuff. Thank you for giving us the tour. And there's more to come. So the next week will be the Pinnacle, correct?
I think we might save the Pinnacle because you guys will be dealing with Jillian and robots.
Right. Okay, so next week, yeah, that's right. Next week's Jillian, and then we'll do the Pinnacle the week after. Okay.
Yes, the Pinnacle's pretty cool. It's got Vice City sort of Tony Montana sort of vibes. I don't know. It's got kind of
spoilers,
it's kind of that
and leaks.
Keep
rich, little
keep
too
the
rich
illegal
vibe.
drugs out of your apartment, please.
Hey, yes, that could be a thing. So,
well, great stuff. So fun Kobe Cafes upcoming. Thanks for joining us as always, David. Always a pleasure. I know you're busy. Rob, you as well. And we will see you guys in the next Kobe Cafe. If you haven't yet, be sure to like, subscribe, throw some comments down, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Don't care what you say. I don't care what you say. I'm in a game.